In this video, we'll uncover the top 10 causes of inflammation in your body so that you can live a better life that is disease and illness free. Hi Wellness Warrior, it's Dr. Zyrowski, and the top 10 causes of inflammation are something that you're probably coming across every single day in your daily life. So I want to go through them with you so that you can start making changes today in your lifestyle and stop inflammation in its tracks, because it is something that leads to all kinds of health problems in your future. So we want to stop inflammation so that you can stop the pain, stop the chronic illness problems, stop the risk of cancer and heart disease. We want to put these things to an end in our lives. So let's start looking out for what is causing the inflammatory reactions. Now, the first thing we're going to look to is toxins, okay? And we are thinking about environmental toxins. Now, you might think to yourself, well, I don't really use a lot of chemicals, but the fact is that you do. You put them on your body through shampoos and lotions and colognes and perfumes and anything you can think of, right? You also use them in your home through cleaning chemicals. You have them in the carpet. You have chemicals within your sheets on your bed, your pillowcase, the shirt that you're wearing, right? There's chemicals everywhere. And you might think to yourself, well, what in the world? How can we even get rid of these chemicals, right? They're everywhere. We have to do the best that we can. And this can easily be by changing the chemicals that you're cleaning your home with, or changing the shampoos and lotions and conditioners and all of those things to a good, healthier option. So make sure that whenever you're using any type of products in your home, you're always thinking about going toxin free. So we want to watch out for those toxins because they cause inflammation in the body. They cause cellular inflammation. Now let's talk about the fatty acid imbalances. So what does this mean? Well, there's the omega-6s and the omega-3s, and we'll keep it really simple here. Now, when you're going out to restaurants and you're eating a lot of fried foods and you're getting these seed oils from the store, essentially you're in a position where you're consuming a lot of omega-6s. And what happens in our body is our omega-6 ratio to omega-3 ratio goes way out of proportion. Our omega-6s go really high. There's many cases where people have an omega-6 to omega-3 ratio in their body or somewhere around like 20:1. And the ideal ratio to squash inflammation and not cause inflammation is going to be right around 4:1. So omega-6 to omega-3, 4:1. Now, many people are very high in omega-6s because they're eating processed meats and doing a lot of things that you shouldn't be doing. So what you can do in order to create a balance of these fatty acids in your body is you can go and take omega-3s, because if your omega-6s are high and you drive up that omega-3 level, you'll feel a lot better and it'll help lower inflammation. Next is going to be sugar. Okay, we know that sugar is a problem and a cause of many serious health conditions. So we want to make sure that we're always reducing sugar. I'm not going to focus too much on it, but some good ways that we can reduce sugar is by replacing sugar. So cut out the sugar and use things like erythritol and stevia and monk fruit or even allulose as a way to sweeten your food versus consuming all this really bad table sugar. Next on our list is going to be gut health. Gut health conditions are a major driver of inflammation in our body, and we'll talk about why in just a second. But as we look to many of the gut health problems that many people are facing, you're thinking things like bloating and distension and IBS. I mean, how many people are walking around with a diagnosis of IBS with no solution? Well, if you have these things and you have leaky gut, maybe a bacterial infection, a viral infection like H. pylori, a parasitic infection, all these different infections could be causing an inflammatory reaction in your body. And it actually is more common than you think to have a gut problem that's just causing a whole host of inflammatory reactions. On our list next is vitamin deficiency. Many of us, though we're doing our best to eat a healthy diet, still fall into the category of getting into a vitamin deficient state. And this is because many of the foods that we eat today just do not have the vitamin content that they used to 20, 30, 40 years ago. And so we want to make sure that we are doing everything we can to not only eat a balanced diet, but look, folks, I know that a lot of people want to argue about things like this, but the fact is taking a good multivitamin is a great way to make sure that you're just covering all your bases and making sure you're getting the vitamins that you need every day. Autoimmune disorders. Now, autoimmune disorders are higher than they have ever been right now. And the fact is that your gut health is a huge driver of autoimmune disorders. So as I mentioned, if you have these bacterial infections and parasites and all these issues, it will cause an autoimmune condition. So we're thinking arthritis and many of the health conditions that people are facing today. Skin rashes all over, brain fog, and this is in major part due to an autoimmune crisis. So this is a huge, huge driver of inflammation. And many people will tell you that you cannot reverse an autoimmune condition. I'm telling you that you can. I do it all the time in my practice. If you want to learn more about that type of thing, click on a link in the description below where you can see how you could work with my team in order to help you overcome your health problems. So autoimmune conditions can be reversed. And I think that's so important because I see people struggling greatly and they go, yeah, there's just nothing I can do. I'm just taking this nasty medication that's ripping apart my liver and my kidneys, no big deal. And they think they're stuck on it for life, but there are solutions out there. Insulin resistance, really a huge driver of inflammation. There's over 100,000 people unknowingly suffering from this. So you know what you need to do? You need to cut the carbs, you need to cut the junk food and cut the sugar, most importantly. Next is liver health. When your liver is struggling, your inflammatory issues in the body just get worse. So anything we can do to improve liver health is going to be a huge bonus. We have to focus on liver health always because it's the organ that supports all organs. And you can't tell me that you won't have inflammation problems if that organ that is supporting everything in the body is struggling. Fake foods. When you go to the grocery store and you look at labels, be sure to look at what the ingredients say. I mean, if you see ingredients that make no sense to you, you can't pronounce them, and also you can't even comprehend the 30 ingredients that don't even look like they're something that could be possibly food or even found in nature, that's probably because it's not. Many synthetic ingredients, especially in the United States, are put in food. These are lab-made chemicals put in food in order to alter the consistency and the texture and the taste. And so we want to make sure that we are watching out for fake foods. Don't eat foods that you can't understand. Read the labels and make sure the ingredients are things that are real foods. So stick to whole foods whenever possible. If it's found in nature, then there's a good chance it's a pretty good quality food. Next on our list is dairy. Okay, dairy is a big one that causes inflammation. Many people are sensitive to dairy. And so what are your options here? First of all, avoid dairy altogether if you're sensitive to it. If it's giving you a stomach ache, if it's causing you to have a lot of bloating. Some people say, how do I know if I'm sensitive to dairy? Here's a quick way to test. Don't eat. Fast for about 8 hours. Then drink a cup of milk. Do you have a negative reaction to that cup of milk? If the answer is yes, then you're sensitive to dairy. So like I said, you can cut it out. You can go to, almond milk. You can go to many coconut milk, many of the other variables out there. You can also even look at A2 milk because many cases, if regular dairy is affecting you negatively, A2 milk is a good option. People are far less sensitive to it. And then also when it comes to dairy, we can always make sure that we're getting organic so that we're getting the best dairy possible. So there's the option to avoid it altogether or find some alternatives. But the fact is that it is a big driver of inflammation. Many people are consuming lots of cheese, especially as people move towards the keto diet and they have inflammatory reactions to dairy. Sometimes you're creating a problem there. So what do? What you have to do in order to shut down these inflammatory reactions, you have to start looking to the food that you're eating. You have to use the proper nutrients in order to squash inflammation. And I teach all of that in this video right here.